Thelonious Monk wasn't just a jazz pianist. He was a creator of unique sonic universes. With eccentric hats and chords that defied all rules, Monk transformed the way we understand the piano in jazz. But what made his composition so surprising? Why do his melodies seem to dance between simplicity and unpredictability, captivating listeners? Today, we'll uncover what makes Monk so special and how he became one of the most fascinating figures in jazz. Ready to discover the secrets behind this incomparable genius? Thelonious Monk was born on October 10, 1917, in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, USA. Despite his imposing name, he was affectionately called Monk by friends and admirers. His family moved to New York when he was just 4 years old, settling in the San Juan Hill neighborhood, a vibrant community rich in musical culture that profoundly influenced his development. As a child, Monk displayed impressive musical talent, starting to play piano at age 6 with no formal instruction. It's said he would listen to his older sister's piano lessons and quickly surpass her, playing by ear and experimenting with unusual harmonies early on. An intriguing detail is that Monk began playing piano on a small pedal organ his family owned. He later remarked how he loved the deep, unusual sound the organ produced, undoubtedly shaping his taste for unconventional chords. As a youth, Monk often accompanied his mother to her job as a church caretaker, using the opportunity to play the organ while she cleaned. Another influential figure in his life was a violinist neighbor who encouraged him to participate in musical competitions at church, boosting his confidence and inspiring him to take music seriously. These early experiences laid the foundation for Monk's revolutionary style, which always seemed ahead of its time. The turning point in Thelonious Monk's career came in 1941 when he became the resident pianist at Minton's Playhouse, a Harlem club known as the birthplace of bebop. This venue served as a musical laboratory where Monk and other pioneers like Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie experimented with new ideas, pushing the boundaries of traditional jazz. It was here that Monk began gaining attention for his innovative style and unconventional harmonies, which defied the norms of the era. Monk was shaped by artists who shared his spirit of innovation. Mary Lou Williams, an established pianist, played a crucial role, mentoring and supporting Monk in his early years. He also admired the work of Duke Ellington, whose boldness in composition and orchestration inspired Monk to think beyond conventions. Breaking norms came naturally to Monk, but not without resistance. Many musicians and critics of the time considered his style wrong or confusing due to his dramatic pauses and seemingly misplaced musical phrases. Nevertheless, Monk stood firm, defending his unique sound with unshakable confidence. One recording that showcased his brilliance was his debut album as a bandleader, Genius of Modern Music, in 1947. Tracks like Round Midnight and Well, You Needn't simultaneously baffled and delighted audiences. His performances were equally captivating, with one of the most celebrated being at Town Hall in 1959, where Monk presented complex compositions marked by bold improvisation, cementing his place as a singular force in jazz. In his later years, Thelonious Monk faced significant personal and health challenges. He began withdrawing from the music scene in the 1970s, suffering from mental and physical health issues that deeply affected his creativity and energy. Although never officially diagnosed, it is believed Monk had bipolar disorder or schizophrenia, conditions poorly understood at the time. This decline was compounded by his reluctance to seek treatment, which further isolated him. Monk spent his final years at the home of Baroness Panonica de Koenigswarter, a longtime friend and patron known for supporting jazz musicians. He lived in her apartment in Weehawken, New Jersey, surrounded by comfort but rarely playing the piano. In his later years, Monk was often silent for extended periods, a behavior that puzzled and saddened those who knew him. Monk passed away on February 17, 1982, at 64, from a stroke, a loss that shook the jazz world. Musicians and critics mourn not only the loss of a genius, but also the lack of care and recognition his contributions received during his lifetime. His death sparked discussions about the lack of support for pioneering jazz musicians, many of whom faced financial and emotional struggles in old age. However, the shock of his passing reignited interest in his work, leading to re-evaluations and tributes that highlighted his unparalleled contributions to jazz. Monk wasn't just a pianist or composer. He was a transformative force who redefined music and left a profound mark on the art of improvisation. Thelonious Monk's music brought about a true shift in perception, challenging musicians and listeners alike to reconsider what jazz could be. His compositions carried intense emotional weight, blending humor, melancholy, and joy in unpredictable ways. For many, his works captured the complexity of urban life and the struggle for authenticity in a constantly changing world. Today, his compositions and techniques are studied in music schools worldwide. The apparent simplicity of pieces like Round Midnight and Blue Monk hide sophisticated structures that continue to intrigue musicians and theorists. His unconventional intervals and dramatic pauses teach that silence and space are as important as the notes played. One notable story is that of John Coltrane, who played with Monk in the late 1950s. Coltrane credited Monk with inspiring him to expand his musical approach, particularly in exploring complex harmonies and viewing the piano as a rhythmic and melodic partner. Monk's strong presence encouraged Coltrane to find the courage to develop his own voice. Monk also changed how we perceive art and creativity. His music serves as a powerful reminder that authenticity lies in embracing our peculiarities. Listening to his works today, we see how art can transcend eras, teaching us to welcome the unexpected and appreciate the unconventional, whether in music or life itself. How can a musician who dared to defy every convention still teach us so much about creativity and authenticity? Thelonious Monk didn't just create music. He created new ways of thinking about art and freedom of expression. His compositions, with all their dissonances and deliberate silences, invite us to find beauty in chaos and value the unexpected in a world that often favors the predictable. Even decades after his passing, his sound resonates in artists who seek authenticity, the courage to experiment, and the strength to remain true to their vision, even in the face of resistance. If Monk taught us anything, it's that true brilliance doesn't lie in pleasing everyone but in being genuine. Why not keep this conversation going? Subscribe to the channel and discover more fascinating stories about artists who, like Monk, changed how we understand music and the world. Let's celebrate what's most authentic and transformative in art together.